In other science news, let's talk about death. It's when you get cancelled by nature. But if you've been looking for a loophole, a new discovery might just give you some hope.
Well, listen to this story. Scientists say a tiny worm has come back to life after being frozen underground for 24,000 years. I'm not sure how they know that, but they say the microscopic organism you see here, even though it's not thrilling, well, Russian scientists say they found it in the permafrost lands of northeastern Siberia and transported it to a Russian lab to examine its biology and history. Scientists say the worm has by far the longest recorded survival period in a frozen state.
Wow! A worm coming back to life after 24,000 years. What a miracle of science and nature and life. I'll give you $5 if you eat that thing. And you know, we always think about things from our perspective as humans, but can you imagine what it was like for that worm? I mean, that worm was probably surprised to see human scientists around him because 24,000 years ago, we were all just cavemen. That's how much things can change in 24,000 years. In fact, all those people who go into cryogenic storage now, they might wake up in 24,000 years and find out that the worms are now in charge.
Well. If it isn't the guy who dissected my ancestor in 7th grade biology, how the tables have turned.
Also, no disrespect to worms, but it's probably easier to survive getting frozen when you're a worm. I mean, worms don't have a whole lot going on. You know, they're pretty much just a mouth and a butt. That's it. Pretty sure God was running out of ideas for animals. Then he saw that cardboard thing in the middle of a paper towel roll and he was like, okay, that's a living thing now. And finally, some big media news today. CNN analyst Jeffrey Toobin returned to the air for the first time in 8 months and had to have a pretty painful conversation about why he hasn't been on TV.
I feel like we should address what's happened in the months since we've seen you. So I guess I'll recap. I'll do the honors.
Help yourself.
Okay. In October, you were on a Zoom call with your colleagues from the New Yorker magazine. Everyone took a break for several minutes, during which time you were caught masturbating on camera. You were subsequently fired from that job after 27 years of working there. Do I have all that right?
You got it all right, sad to say. I think one point, I wouldn't exactly say in my defense, because nothing is really in my defense. I didn't think I was on the call. I didn't think other people could see me. Now, that's not a defense. This was deeply moronic and indefensible, but I mean, that is part of the story. And, you know, I have spent the 7 subsequent months, miserable months in my life, I can certainly confess, trying to be a better person. I mean, in therapy, trying to do some public service, working in a food bank, which I certainly am going to continue to do. But I am trying to become the kind of person that people can trust again.
I can't watch. Oh man, I cannot think of anything more awkward to watch than that interview. Okay, maybe one other thing. And you know, I bet the awkwardness lasted after that interview too, because you know that Jeffrey Toobin doesn't trust cameras anymore, right? And cut. All right, Jeffrey, we're clear. So the camera is off. Yep. I'm just gonna smash that camera with a hammer if you don't mind. You know, I don't know if you picked this up, but one thing I don't get is when he says he's been working in a food kitchen. Like, I mean, that's great, don't get me wrong, but I don't really see the connection with what he did. You know, if anything, that's just unfair to the people at the food kitchen.
Hello, would you like a piece of fruit?
No thank you. I think I'll go a couple more days without eating.